name is Damien McGuinn. I'm chairperson of Coolaney Development Company. Coolaney is a small village located in County Sligo in the northwest of Ireland. The project which we are championing at the moment is our Coolaney National Mountain Bike Centre, where we're hoping to develop 80 kilometres of mountain bike trails for use by both tourism and the local community in the Ox Mountains, which is adjacent to the village. So the key issue and reason why we developed the mountain bike centre was to provide some rural infrastructure for sporting amenities within the village of Coolaney. This is also to provide tourism opportunities to create jobs and employment in the local area. Well, basically, Coolaney was an area of depopulation in the late 1990s and early 2000s. There was a lot of immigration from the location, and the purpose of the development company was to try and revitalise the village, to bring the village back to life and to create employment for the local people. So basically, with community involvement, we identified a number of potential opportunities. What did Coolaney have to provide as opportunities that weren't existing elsewhere? In relation to the mountain bike centre, we realised that we had 3,000 acres of pristine mountainside with some spectacular views that could actually be utilised. At the moment it's Cuilche land. Cuilche is the Irish Forestry Board, and it was being used as forestry land, and we're trying to identify opportunities for that land, and mountain biking seemed to be a key part of that. Well, we were very lucky that Northwest Mountain Biking Club actually came on board. They actually came forward with the idea for the usage of the mountain. So the initial approach that we took was to make sure that Coolaney and this site was identified as part of Cuilche's off-road cycling strategy back in 2012. So we got it included in the national strategy, which enabled us then to pursue other elements of funding. Having a good diverse range of talents and experiences. I actually approached the project myself from a development company viewpoint, but we had also on board members of the mountain biking community, members of Sligo County Council and leader boards, which was very beneficial in getting the project over the line. Yes, exactly. Volunteers are hard come by, so whoever volunteered to come forward was accepted. We didn't necessarily have to upskill our team, but looking back in reflection, there was a lot of time wasted when we have the experience that we have now with dealing with local authorities and state authorities in developing the project. Yes, we could have done with training at the beginning, which we didn't avail of. So we had great leadership shown by the mountain biking club. So Brian Conlon, who's the chairperson of Northwest Mountain Biking Club, played a key role in coming up with the strategy and the vision for what the mountain park could look like. A progressive mountain bike park that catered for the very young to the very experienced mountain bikers. And that was the vision which we tried to utilise. This project is an 8-year-old project at this stage. We're actually just coming to the project. The first phase of the project is just coming to fruition. So obviously persistence and a lot of patience was required to sustain a team over 8 years. If we had learned some of the lessons that we know now earlier in the project, perhaps we could have delivered the project quicker. But yes, definitely persistence was a valuable asset in the leadership team. So the project has had numerous phases. So first and foremost, we started off with a feasibility study. We received leader grant funding for that, combined with a local contribution which was raised voluntarily within the local community. From that feasibility study, we employed a world-renowned trail designer, David Davis from Wales, who completed a technical corridor evaluation and a business plan for the project. Again, that was funded through LEADER. So phase 1 funding, which involves the construction of the project, most of the funding of that is coming from the Department of Rural Affairs plus Sligo County Council and some local contribution. No, absolutely not. We could have done with more information, and perhaps it's something we went down the traditional route for receiving funding, working with the local authorities, but there was a lot of state funding and European funding which we weren't aware could be made available to us. We did employ technical external stakeholders for the development of the mountain bike facility and for development of the feasibility plan, but not necessarily in relation to the securing of funding. Well, actually, phase one will have a soft opening of Christmas of this year, so within 3 to 4 weeks we will have trails fully opened. At the moment, there's some testing going on of the trails. Well, it is phase one of a 5-phase plan. So we're developing 16 kilometres of an 80-kilometre trail, and I have no doubt it will be sustainable because we have a very good business plan in place and a very good feasibility done. So I'm sure the visitors will arrive and the local community will support it. Absolutely. Over the 8 years which it's taken to get the funding from concept, or to take the project from concept to implementation phase, we have a great relationship with the various departments, the semi-state body Quilcher, who are the landowner, the local county council and the local representatives as well. The key funding success has been with the Department of Rural and Social Affairs and their provision of the 1.25 million for the phase one funding of it. There's also been 10.3 million funding issued nationwide for the completion of 5 projects, of which our project is going to be one of those. In retrospect, we went with the vision, and perhaps we planned the vision and the park and what the park would actually look like. We didn't plan how we would actually get to the phase of implementing the park and the plan. We could have done with some external support and expertise in showing us the various funding streams that were available to us, but also how to go about talking with the various departments as well, and the preparation of the business plans. Success to me would have an amenity that's available to the local community for sporting and recreational activities, but also an amenity that would bring in tourism into the area, generate jobs and generate local employment and local businesses. So we have teamed up. One of the other projects which the development company is supporting is Cafe Fia. We would hope that Cafe Fia would benefit greatly from the tourism numbers and people that would bring into the village to support that cafe. We need to celebrate our successes more, definitely. This project is only one part of an overall plan that we have for the development of Coolaney community, so collaboration with the stakeholders is very, very important. Our actual plan is coming to the end of its life cycle, our current plan. So from 20,000 we will be looking to develop another 5-year plan. So we are working in 5-year stints. My aspiration for the future is that Coolaney will be a dynamic and sustainable locality where the children that grow up in the area can remain in the area, have employment within the area and have all the social and recreational infrastructure that they need to enjoy life in the area. So our overall goal is to improve the standard of living of the people of Coolaney. Patience, patience and more patience. Now the key lesson that we've actually learned is probably to involve more of the community and of the local authorities in the planning stages of each of our projects. That's probably the key lesson.